But Parker, I want to, get into these season awards because, I if our man TJ Watt gets played again, I'm gonna throw a fit, with Roger Goodell or whoever these voters are. But before we get into Defensive Player of the Year, I feel like we of course got to talk about MVP. So Parker, who do you think, or who are you picking as your MVP of the season?
Oh, jeez. This is so you could even make a case for MVP for TJ Watt, but I don't think he's going to win it because it's always a
No.
quarterback or offensive player. You could make an argument for Cooper Cup as well.
Mhm.
However, I,
If this year, if any year a non-quarterback would win this award, I think it's this year. Honestly, it
yeah,
seems
I
like
agree
there's a
with you.
decent amount of options for
But
non-quarterbacks to win. I don't think it's
yeah,
going to happen, but if any year it were to happen, it'd be this year.
yeah, I hate I hate going with the safe option, but I'm going to the safe option and say Aaron Rodgers. His play has been phenomenal. He's been so good towards the end of the season. And I think the Packers are going to do phenomenal in the playoffs. I think they're going to make it to Super Bowl as well. But I mean, it's the safe option, and I think he's got that pretty much locked up.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Aaron Rodgers should be the MVP. I know Bruce Arians said that he would throw a hissy fit if Tom Brady didn't win it. But honestly, I mean, Tom Brady had most passing yards, sure. But I mean, Aaron Rodgers has the best team, and he just, I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, I think he looked like the best quarterback. But if I was a betting man, that's who I would pick. But if I were to truly go with the most valuable player, I mean, I think it would have to be Cooper Cup. He's got the receiving triple crown, which has only been done a couple times in history. And the man just played out of his mind and really transformed this Rams offense. Another reason, why they are where they are. I know he's not going to win, but if I were to pick one, I honestly think I would go with Cooper Cup.
Yeah, that's a fair guess.
Yeah, yeah, but
Defensive player of the year. What do you think?
it's got to be T.J. Watt. I
It
will.
has
I
to
will.
be.
I don't even know what. I will be dumbfounded if he doesn't get this award. I don't
Yeah,
understand why he didn't get it last year, and I will throw a hissy fit if he doesn't get it this year.
there will be riots in Pittsburgh if he does not win this. If Miles Garrett does, then it's
Oh,
absurd.
and
Miles Garrett
honestly,
shouldn't win it. Micah Parsons shouldn't win it. Aaron Donald shouldn't win it. It should
oh,
be TJ Watt.
if Micah Parsons wins this award over T.J.
Oh,
Watt, I don't even know.
repulsive.
That I probably will throw up. I honestly might throw out of pure disgust. Like this, TJ Watt tied, arguably should have the sack record. I know we didn't mention this in our game recap, but in the other episode, but like he that first like sack or tackle or whatever the strip fumble he had on Tyler Huntley, they're reviewing that. If that's, considered a sack, which I think it should, I think that should be a sack, then he has the sack record. But as
And
of now,
if he plays, heck, if even if he doesn't play all 17 games and he only plays 16, I think if he plays one more game, he has the sack record.
oh, 100%. I think he played 14 or 15 games.
I
So,
think it was 15. Yeah,
yeah. So
but
I think if he
still,
plays one more game, he gets it. But as of now, he tied the sack record. And, you know, like you said, Parker, I think you could argue him for MVP because without him, our defense is lost. I think we were 0-5 without him. And, like I said, our defense is lost without him. He had the most tackles for loss. It seems like he gets a forced fumble, at least maybe one or two every game. I don't see how anybody else even compares to him. And you know what, Parker? One guy that we haven't mentioned that I will blow my brains out if he does get Defensive Player of the Year over TJ Watt is Trayvon Davis. I will. I can't trust the NFL at that point if Trayvon Diggs gets it.
I don't like Trayvon Diggs.
I don't like him. Look, he's an
I think he's
aggressive
very
corner.
overrated.
He's an aggressive corner, and that's why he has all of those picks. that's also why he's given up the most yards. And I'm
Yeah,
pretty
like
sure he's given up a decent amount of touchdowns too. So
he's like owning a Bugatti. Like the performance is fantastic, but you have to buy 4 like super $20,000 tires like every time you hit 200 miles an hour, so it's not even worth it. Like
exactly.
he's great to look at and he's good in certain situations, but if you're giving up so many yards and so many large touchdowns, then what's the point? You're actually not good, in my opinion,
100%.
at least.
100%.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. But flipping the ball to the other side of the field, offensive player of the year. I mean, I feel
Cooper
like
Kupp.
it's between, yeah, I was going to say, if anything, it's between Cooper Kupp and Jonathan Taylor. And I think Cooper Kupp takes it with the receiving triple crown. That's all he needs.
If the
Jonathan Taylor
Colts
fell
made
off
the
at the end of the
playoffs,
season.
Jonathan Taylor would win it.
Jonathan Taylor fell off at the end of the season, and I think it's because teams realized that all the Colts do is hand the ball off to him, and they just have to blitz.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jonathan Taylor's good. Don't get me wrong, but he did fall off at the end of the year. Still had an amazing season, but I don't think he should get it. But rookie of the year, we kind of talked about what rookies made us stand out. But Parker and me, I think Micah Parsons is my guy here. I think he got 13 sacks. He was second in the NFL in tackles for loss. And he made such a big impact on that Cowboys defense because last year it was like you were playing on Madden in rookie mode. Honestly, they were giving up 30 points a game, and this year is 21. I mean, obviously, there's other adjustments to that, but he made such a big difference to that defensive line and that defense in general. Had an amazing year. I got to give it to Micah Parsons with strong honorable mentions towards Jamar Chase. I don't think a quarterback should win this award. I think it's Micah Parsons or Jamar Chase.
I think you could make an argument for Mac Jones. You can make an argument for Najee Harris. You can make an argument. I think offensive rookie of the year, Jamar Chase. Defensive rookie of the year, Patrick Surtain. I think Patrick Surtain played a lot more
over
of a
Micah
complete
Parsons?
game over Micah Parsons.
Okay, I can respect that just in the fact that Patrick Surtain also had an amazing rookie year and has been a great pick for the Broncos. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Micah Parsons has the stats to back him up.
Yeah. It's very much like that
It's
gut
gonna be
feeling
tough.
of like, yeah, he's good. And the reason he's not talked about as much is because he's so good.
Right.
Cornerbacks in the NFL, if you're a good cornerback in the NFL, I should not know you should exist because the ball should not be coming your way. And that's how Patrick Surtain plays. Anytime I've seen him play, the quarterback looks and he's like, oh, he's covered. I can't throw it his way. And anytime it is thrown his way, he usually defends it. Patrick Surtain is the cornerback that I would want to. If I were to start a defense and I had to start with cornerbacks, I'd start with Patrick Surtain. I think he's that good.
100%. I agree. I watched that game. They played against the Chargers. He had Keenan Allen locked up. Every play was contested, and I loved it. He's a great player. I think he's just short, though, of Rookie of the Year, but we'll see. We got 2 more. First, we will go over Comeback Player of the Year, which has a lot of candidates, and you could make an argument for a lot of guys here. Obviously, there's Cowboys fans with Dak. Probably most of the NFL fans are thinking Joe Burrow. But, Parker, I'm not like most NFL fans. I think differently, and that's why I'm going with Nick Bosa. He's, people kind of forget about him. He's under the radar. But he had 15.5 sacks. He had a great year. One of the reasons why the 49ers are a top-ranked defense. I love this guy, and I'm glad he could come back from injury, and he proved himself.
Okay. I can get on that train.
Yeah.
However,
did Dak play too well? Or
no,
is it?
It's not Dak Prescott.
Both
Dak Prescott sucks.
Both Dak and Joe Burrow brought losing teams to division champions. both of them.
And I think the quarterback who did it better was Joe Burrow, and I think Joe Burrow is going to do it. I think Joe Burrow is my comeback player of the year. He single-handedly, with Jamar Chase, led that team back. And everybody thought they were going to be like 7-10, maybe 6-11, and they ended up winning the division. And I watching Jamar Chase and watching Joe Burrow play together, especially Joe Burrow in general, hitting Joe Mixon and all his other targets. I think he wins it as comeback player of the year in my book.
Hey, I respect that. I think if Nick Bosa is not going to win, it's got to be Joe Burrow. If it's Dak, I might cry. Not that Dak doesn't deserve it. I think, it was a tough injury to come back from, but I agree with you there. I think Joe Burrow gets it for me. But the last award we got is Coach of the Year. And this one's also, kind of controversial. But for me, I think without a doubt, it's Mike Vrabel. He led the Titans to the number 1 seed without their best player. Nothing else I have to say there.
Yeah.
You could have argued Bill Belichick if the Patriots would have finished better, but with them at the 6th seed, I don't see how you can, put him at Coach of the Year because of that. Like, it's impressive, don't get me wrong, getting a rookie quarterback to the playoffs, but I think what Mike Vrabel has done is more impressive, and that's why I think he gets it.
Yeah, another coach that had a big turnaround this year was Nick Sirianni of the Eagles. I think he could win it as well. Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, you could make an argument. I think Zach Taylor of the Bengals as well. Nobody was expecting them to do this well again, and I think a lot of that also has to do with Zach Taylor. So, yeah, Zach Taylor. You know what? You win in my book. I give you Zach Taylor.
Wow, definitely underrated option. Those are all of our awards. We'll see, how these guys do.